Information Technology Development Agency, Adiza Umar, on Friday in Abuja. Umar said that a new date for the event will be communicated in no distant future. She said the event, formerly known as E-Nigeria International Conference and Exhibition, is the flagship technology event in the Nigeria digital economy sector. The conference, themed Digital Transformation, a Pathway to Sustainable Digital Economy, is aimed at addressing Nigeria's technological challenges in achieving sustainable socio-economic development. Digital Nigeria Day, which is a day designated to promote the development of the digital economy in Nigeria, will still be celebrated on Sunday, 24th October. As digital economy continues to grow, the Nigerian government is doing all they can to leverage on the ICT infrastructure and compete with other tech giants. To achieve this, Ogun Tech Hub, in collaboration with Nigeria's Computer Society Ogun State Chapter, celebrates the annual Digital Nigeria Day at Kobape Abeokuta. Ronke Adeyemi has the details.
After launching the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy, NDEPS, at the 11th edition of the E-Nigerian Conference and Exhibition by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2020, the President declared 24th October as Digital Nigeria Day. Accordingly, Ogun State unveiled its maiden edition of the day with this year's celebration tagged Digital Transformation, a path for a sustainable economy in government and the private sector. The day is focused on bringing together the government, academia, tech ecosystem, corporate bodies and entrepreneurs to exhibit their achievements and chart new ways to achieve economic prosperity through utilization of digital technologies in Nigeria. Dignitaries at the event explained that with the right equipment and mindset, public and private cooperation will work together to create an enabling environment for digitization.
Not only do we have the right equipment, we have the right structure, and the process has already begun. We have partnerships with several private software developers, consultants, and the idea is to leverage on the private sector in order to fully digitalize the state.
The Federal Ministry of Communications and Technology will collaborate with the state in the promotion and celebration of the Digital Nigeria Day in a way that emphasizes the strength of the state in the implementation of the digital economic policy and strategy. The Digital Nigeria Day will provide an opportunity to identify and promote success stories and leading light in the expansion of Nigeria's digital economy.
The event also included plenary sessions where relevant matters concerning digitalization were raised, as well as presentation to the winners of the pitch event. Participants expressed their need for programs like this in the digital age, so as to boost youth empowerment.
Which we used to do things the manual way, where we save money in piggy bank and in the walls of our homes. Things are being digitalized now, and I feel Nigeria should be moving with the trend, and the government should also help in that sector to provide the right base for the youth to stand on.
And as much as possible to come up with a bill for digital subsidy, whereby the government agencies, or the government rather, could fund digital innovations and ideas and also subsidize its availability to the members of the country.
They stressed that government will continue its involvement in digitization, but it is up to individuals and private sector to join hands and digitize the economy. Aderunke Adeyemi, Ogtv News.
Ogun Tech interns have formally been presented with their letters of employment. Ogun Teach is the brainchild of Prince Dapo Abiodun, Governor of Ogun State, and this, according to the chairman, Teaching Service Commission, Joshua Olaleko Ifedi, will further improve the standard of education in the state. Tunde Olaniro reports.
To relieve the workload of our hard-working, dedicated and diligent teachers, and also to fill vacancies in schools, are directed at TESCOM and the SUBEB to immediately commence the release of the engagement letters to successful candidates of the Ogun Teach program.
Immediately after this declaration, work began by the ministries and agencies of government concerned, and this is the formal presentation of the letter of enlistment into Ogun Teach program.
The governor did make a promise about the employment of the Ogun Teach program, and what we have just witnessed today is the formal presentation of the employment letters to the interns or by the chairman of the Teaching Service Commission.
And according to him, we are doing this thing in batches. The batches we are doing today is a follow-up of what we have done before, and it will be a continuous exercise for those that are successful. And I want to assure people in Ogun State that our governor is a man of his word is his bond. And he said it, and we have started it, we are doing it, and we are going to continue until we get to the number we have in mind to do.
This initiative will improve the availability of teachers in schools.
All the schools, all our secondary schools, primary schools, and even technical colleges, we have enough teachers to teach our pupils. And this will not only improve the learning environment, it will also help our students to do well in their various exams.
The obviously elated beneficiaries were full of appreciation to the governor.
Okay, I promise the governor that I will try as much as possible to relay my duties, to do my duties as with my capacity, within my capacity.
Yeah, of course. I'm promising the government my best. I'll put in my best. I'll be dedicated in the job. I'll give my all to make sure that whatever I put in is satisfactory to the government and to my employers.
So I promise to do my very best. I also love to impart into children, so I promise to give my very best. 5,000
teachers have been recruited in the Ogun Teach program into the primary, secondary and technical colleges in the state. Tunde Alamero, Ogtv News.
That was the Ogun Teach beneficiaries receiving their letters of employment. The Ogun State Governor, His Excellency Prince Dakwa Abiodun, will on Monday, 25th October 2021, inaugurate the Akaribo and paramount ruler of Remoland, His Royal Majesty Oba Babatunde Adewale Ajayi, as the new chairman of the Ogun State Council of Obas. The Akaribo and paramount ruler of Remoland takes over the affairs of the council from the Awujale of Ijebuland, and the paramount ruler of Ijebuland, His Royal Majesty Oba Dr. Sikiru Kayode Adetono, following the expiration of the Awujale's tenure. In a release signed by Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mr. Kolaole Peter Fagbon, Prince Dakwa Abiodun is expected to perform the inauguration of the new chairman of the conference at the conference hall of Obas Complex, Okemoso, Abeokuta, by 11 a.m. The 2021 statutory quarterly meeting of the Council of Obas will thereafter hold after the inauguration of the new chairman. The fourth edition of the Sixth Sense Children Reading Competition Program for ages 5 to 15 holds on Monday, 25th October 2021 between 8 in the morning and 4 in the evening. Venue is the main auditorium of the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Free enrollment reading competition with the theme Reading Culture, a tool for successful learning and self-actualization with a new generation, will be formally declared open by Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. About 100 schools and 800 students will participate in the lecture, demonstration, storytelling, workshops, awards and reading competition. Wife of the Ogun State Governor and Sixth Sense Ambassador, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, and other notable Nigerians will grace the occasion. The Sixth Sense initiative has created 10 concepts geared towards promoting reading in children to increase child capacity development in accordance to the support of the SDG goals, the number 4, to eradicate poverty in Nigeria. In furtherance of its efforts in fulfilling the corporate social responsibility through empowerment program, Dangote Cement doled out multi-million naira educational scholarships and commenced training for the youths in 15 host communities of its Ibishi Cement plant in Ogun State. Adebola Oshomoji reports that the program brought smiles to the faces of the host communities.
In building capacity of the people and institutions in communities, especially youth, through empowerment scheme, Dangote Cement commenced the annual scholarship award program with skills acquisition training. For 2021, 115 students in various institutions received checks for their scholarship, while 30 youth drawn from 15 communities in Ibishi commenced training in tailoring and fashion designing, coordinated by Industrial Training Fund, ITF. While declaring the training open, Dangote Cement Ibishi Plant Director, Azad Nawabuddin, admonished trainees to utilize the opportunity by paying rapt attention to details of the trainers.
On this design, what is going to happen is that these are the things from the community, these are the community. So the whole of the community, whole of the people around us, they will have this, first of all, those who are getting educated now, they will become self-reliant, not do job for anybody, they will do the job for themselves.
In her contribution, the area manager of ITF Ogun State, Mrs. Fumi Koka, commended Dangote Cement for the gesture extended to youth in its communities, promising that the beneficiaries will get the best of the training.
To work for us. So they are also employers of labor, they are also paying us money. You see, so it's a chain. You see the chain of growth. So there's growth in the economy. And that's why I am grateful to Dangote Cement PLC.
Beneficiaries promised not to take the opportunity bestowed on them for granted.
And we promise to put in our best and to serious capacity. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Dangote Cement PLC and the ITF team. Thank you.
I thank God Almighty that we give me the opportunity today.
For fulfilling its corporate social responsibility, the Vice Chairman of Ewekoro Local Government, Mr. Olabode Sukomi, with other stakeholders present, were full of appreciation, urging the company not to relent in setting the pace for others to emulate. Adebola Oshomoji, Ogtv News.
Still ahead on the news, federal government to grant posthumous pardon to Sarowiwa 8 Ogoni activists. Details of this and more when we return. Nice to have you back. You're watching the Ogtv News. The notion that all development efforts by government need support was again at play at the first gated estate in Ogun State, Okiata Federal Housing Estate. Here, residents took over construction of the road within their estate. Bumi Adigun was with them and filed in this report.
The current administration in Ogun State has made some giant strides in the area of infrastructure. as there is no local government area within it without a reconstructed road. But what about the pressure put on these roads? They are mostly what make them not to stand the test of time. This explains why government usually needs the support of the public. This is Okiata Federal Housing Estate, now handed over to the Ogun State government, built in the 70s. It is the first gated government reserved area in Ogun State. Many of the infrastructures and amenities like road, water were done so many years ago, but are now calling for attention. But rather than wait for government, this is what residents of the estate are doing as support to develop their area.
If you had come a week ago, you would have seen how dilapidated this road was. You will still see remnants of the asphalt from the federal government era of the 70s, scraped. Now, all we have done over the years is bring graders, we'll go over, but with time and the erosion, the level of drainage has become higher than the level of the road.
Over 400 residents came together to put this to work.
So this time around, we felt that serious palliative work must be done. Importing laterite to fill strategically at points so that we can raise the level of the road and maintain the gradient.
So we have to call ourselves, like people like us in this estate, that let's sit down and work something out. You see a lot of people are using a lot of big cars, and they spend a lot of maintenance on it. Let's make effort and call our people. We can make little money, little effort that can feed this place as a palliative. Then from there, maybe them can come in and assist us.
From Stone Base, they are now looking at how they will have the resources to asphalt the road to make it strong, lasting, and long. The people of the estate have appreciated the current administration for its support and are hopeful that the ongoing project will receive its support. Bumi Adigun, Ogtv News.
The outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic in Nigeria has prepared and equipped the country in the act of dealing with such outbreak in the future. Minister of Health, Dr. Osagi Enahiri stated this while delivering a lecture on COVID-19 pandemic and its devastating effects on world affairs, commemorating Government College Ibadan Old Boys Association 2021 annual lecture and 92nd anniversary. Former President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, and the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, also graced the occasion, which was held at the Presidential Conference Hall of the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library. Elizabeth Esson completes the story.
Since the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, the world, Nigeria in particular, has witnessed low turnout both economically and financially. This informed the topic for this year's annual public lecture, commemorating the 92nd anniversary of the Government College Ibadan Old Boys Association, COVID-19 pandemic and its devastating effects on world affairs. Minister of Health, Dr. Osagi Enahiri, in his lecture delivered by Mr. Segun Oguntoyinbo, confirmed that the effects of the outbreak of COVID-19 have made the country and there's all resources towards providing every citizen needed health facility and protocols at combating the disease.
We have learned a lot and developed a multi-sectoral response strategy in all states. But this pandemic is unprecedented in the alarming ease with which the virus spreads around the world, causing devastating loss of lives and severely impacting livelihoods, businesses, education, travel, national economies, and much more.
The Ogun State Governor, while commending the association for the time ensuring healthy environment for all citizens, while calling on private individuals and organizations to collaborate with governments at providing good and conducive learning environment.
The government was very interested in this discourse because I believe that providing us another level of information which will further enlighten us in our continued fight against COVID-19 in particular, and ensuring that we manage the aftermath of COVID-19.
Also speaking was the former President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, who called for handing over of all schools to all students in order to relieve government of unnecessary burdens.
We have to raise subsidies for education. We have to do something. And it's not just education. It is quality and all around education.
Government College Ibadan Old Boys Association, according to the national president, Dr. Wale Babalakin-San, has afforded the Old Boys a glorious path and determination to build a greater future.
Between 2017 and now, the Old Boys of Government College Ibadan have invested 2 billion naira in their school.
Founded in 1929, Government College Ibadan Old Boys Association is committed to growth of the school and is also a binding force to relate regardless of age and status. Elizabeth Osun, Ogtv News.
Chinese President Xi Jinping says his country will use the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations with Nigeria to promote strategic partnership to new heights. In a letter to the president, Xi Jinping says Nigeria is an important strategic partner of Chinese Africa, and the Chinese-Nigeria cooperation has been the pace-setter of China-Africa cooperation. President Xi appreciates President Buhari for his congratulatory letter on the 72nd anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China, which came up on October 1. The Chinese leader says he attaches great importance to the development of China-Nigeria relations and gives President Buhari assurance that his country will spare no efforts in strengthening existing relations. The federal government has reiterated its commitment towards managing the emerging environmental challenges to build a virile economy. Minister of State for Environment Sharon Ikeazo disclosed this in Abuja at the 15th meeting of the National Council on Environment. The minister said the theme of the event, tagged Appraisal of the Emerging Challenges and Opportunities in the Environment Sector, a call for action towards the environment of our dream, was strategically chosen to reflect the current realities and consistently tackle environmental challenges. Ikeazo added that the ministry has developed strategies along the 9 priority areas outlined by the current administration to improve agriculture and food security.
For us to build a thriving and sustainable economy, enhance social inclusion and reduce poverty, enlarge agricultural output for food security and export, attain energy sufficiency in power and petroleum products, and expand transportation and other infrastructural developments. These are the 9 priority areas of this government. To achieve agricultural and food security and ensure energy sufficiency in power and petroleum products, we have taken targeted actions. And also in fulfilling the mandate of our ministry, the ministry is accelerating the implementation of the Ogun cleanup.
In his submission, the FCT Minister, Mohammed Bello, encouraged the National Council on Environment to provide policy guidance that will help cushion the negative impact of the climate change and adverse environmental conditions. He stressed the need to take stock of current environmental issues and evaluate the challenges as well as opportunities embedded in them. The Group Managing Director and NPC, who was represented by Afyong Akpabubi, said the ecosystem must be protected by maintaining high air quality and availability of viable water resources. Indications have emerged that the Nigerian government may soon grant a posthumous pardon to Ken Saro-Wiwa and 8 other Ogoni activists after brutal execution by a former military regime 26 years ago for fighting for the rights of their people. President Muhammadu Buhari gave the indication on Friday when he received some of the leaders of Ogoni land, led by the President of the Supreme Council of Ogoni Traditional Rulers, His Majesty King Godwin Giniwa, at the State House, Abuja. Despite the grievous circumstances, the federal government will consider the request for the grant of pardon to finally close the Ogoni saga, Buhari said. The president urged the leaders to work towards protecting national assets like pipelines and other oil installations, saying willful damages usually create more havoc on their environment and hamper development in their area. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Bubakar Malami, SAN, said on Friday in Abuja that a presidential panel has indicted Nnamdi Kanu for instigating subsidies campaign against the Nigerian state. Kanu, leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, is currently being prosecuted at the Federal High Court, Abuja, by the federal government for alleged treason and terrorism. Malami, while briefing newsmen, said that the eventual rearrest of Kanu in June and some members of his group led to the inauguration of a presidential ad hoc committee comprising 24 members from the Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Information, amongst other ministries. He said that the committee, after investigations, released its report titled Investigation Report on Acts of Terrorism and Allied Offenses perpetrated by Nnamdi Kanu, and the report of the sponsors and financiers of Sunday Igboho and associates. According to him, the committee, headed by himself, made a number of findings, including that Kanu instigated widespread violence in different parts of the country. The minister also said that the federal government had received the report on financiers of Sunday Adeyemo, aka Sunday Igboho. The report revealed that Igboho is the director and a signatory to some companies. Suspected members of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, and Eastern Security Network, ECN, on Thursday bombed a police station in Isiala Mbano local government area of Imo State. The bandits, who stormed the police station around 6:45 p.m. in a convoy of 5 vehicles and 3 motorcycles, reportedly threw petrol bombs on the roof of the police station, shooting sporadically. However, the police operatives attached to the station engaged the hoodlums in a gun duel. One police officer was said to have been badly injured, while properties were damaged. According to a statement on Friday by the Imo police spokesman, CSP Michael Abaton, the armed bandits suspected to be members of the IPOB and ECN terror group came to Isiala Mbano police station in about 5 vehicles and 3 motorcycles, threw petrol bombs on the roof of the already damaged building in the Ensas in Broglio and started shooting indiscriminately. At the second and final day of the 17th All Nigeria Editors Conference in Abuja, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria took a center stage with 3 governors in attendance. The governors are Yahaya Bello of Kogi State, Prince Adeyanju Abula, who represented Governor Adegboyega Oyetola of Osun State, and Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, represented by his special advisor on intergovernmental relations. Governor Yahaya Bello lamented the spate of insecurity ravaging the country, noting that the media, through its watchdog agenda, has a crucial role to play in ensuring that the political class throw up a good leadership for the nation. The governor admitted that since insecurity is local and peculiar, stakeholders must evolve strategies that provide solution to the menace in accordance with each region's peculiarities.
And to be able to get that done, it requires the collaboration, understanding, and painstaking agenda setting of the media, who will educate, sensitize, and teach our people as to who should be the next leader or leadership of this country, various states, and at various levels. That is the only way we can get it.
The governor noted that through intelligence gathering and collaboration with security agencies and other relevant bodies, his administration, since coming on board in 2016, has been able to chase away Boko Haram, ISWAP, and other criminal elements who had hitherto found safe haven in Kogi State. In their various submissions, Governor El Rufai and his Osun State counterparts, Governor Oyetola, shared strategies deployed to include robust security strategies in dealing with insecurity. Tunde Shudeke reports that new members of the guild were inducted, while 8 members who had distinguished themselves in the journalism profession were conferred with the Fellow of the Guild. Up next is Glimpses. 2 most revered royal fathers in southwestern Nigeria celebrated their birthdays with praises to God and prayers for the unity of Yoruba land and the country at large. One clocked 47 and the other 83. Glimpses this week celebrates with them by taking a peep into their lives and how they were celebrated.
Love him or loathe him, His Imperial Majesty Olofin Adimula Ooni Adeyeye Enitan Babatunde Ogunwusi is more than just a king. His Omoluabi demeanor and graceful disposition command respect across Yoruba land to far away in Brazil. The 58th Ooni of Ife has ensured tremendous improvement in cultural appraisal and acceptance across his territory, Nigeria, and the world at large. Despite the amount of influence he wields in the country, he remains one of the most humble monarchs in Nigeria. Like his name, Enitan implies one whose birth is linked to his story. His journey to kingship has found a seat in history and will be discussed long after he passes away. On Sunday, October 17, 2021, the stylish and youthful king turned 47. On the eve of his birthday, at exactly 12 in the morning, on Sunday, Olori Naomi made a loud noise across the ancient city with over 30 minutes of fireworks to celebrate Aobi. From Ife to Oyo State, where the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, the Ikubaba Yeyi, also celebrated 83 years old. As a youth-driven royal father whose leadership rose in preserving and promoting the cultural heritage of Yoruba land remain outstanding. No Alaafin in modern times has celebrated 50 years on the throne. Alaafin Adeyemi III has been very fortunate. Oyo has witnessed a lot of growth during his reign. The Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi, is 47, while the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, is 83. Glimpses crew wishes both many more years on earth.
Congratulations to His Imperial Majesty and His Royal Majesty. Adebola Oshomoji is now ready for the business segment of the news.
Welcome to business segment of the news. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has designed an entrepreneurial scheme for graduates of higher institutions in the country. The Apex Bank, which released the guidelines of the initiative in Abuja, said the scheme tagged Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Scheme, TIES, was designed to create a paradigm shift among undergraduate and graduate from the pursuit of white-collar jobs to a culture of entrepreneurship development for economic development, job creation. The CBN added that the scheme is also aimed at providing an initiative financing model that will create jobs, enhance the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and support economic growth and development. Despite its potential benefit to the economy, government and stakeholders, Nigerians still need more information on the proposed central bank's digital currency code named e-naira. This formed part of the submissions of some Nigerians who spoke for and against the introduction of the digital currency by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Elizabeth Esson gives details.
Central Bank of Nigeria digital currencies, codenamed e-naira, are a part of the fourth industrial revolution, as countries representing over 90% of global GDP are exploring effective ways to adopt this phenomenon, including China, which has been heavily cracking down on cryptocurrencies. The implementation of e-naira will be the result of the research project Giants. Its main goals are microeconomic management and growth, cross-border trade facilitation, financial inclusion, monetary policy effectiveness, among others.
We chose that they will establish their company in Nigeria. The Central Bank of Nigeria will own majority stake, substantially majority stake in that company. So it is not my company, as people have said, that I went to the Caribbean to set up a company for one small unknown company. It's a company that will be established in Nigeria. You will see it on CAC, and it will be majority holdings will be the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Mr. Timothy Shorunke is a tax expert. He is of the view that the central bank still needs to give more explanation on the difference between e-naira and cryptocurrencies.
To know more on how it operates, what are the benefits, what are its usefulness, and how it can be used especially on international scale, and how can it benefit this everyday rising in the naira to dollar value. Way of help, how those who are in diaspora, those who are in abroad, moving money into Nigeria, money help. We in Nigeria buying things online, how we help. We in Nigeria who want to pay money to our students in abroad.
To some analysts, introduction and adoption of e-naira in Nigeria will go a long way at unlocking new revenue and growth opportunities, thereby generating a sustainable value pool.
Safer in the sense that it won't be easy for people to manipulate, especially the malicious actors, to manipulate. They're talking about fraudulent practices, people wanting to scam, not suspecting members of the public through this platform, because it's using what they call blockchain technology, which of course just are providing the security that is not dependent on one person. Or for everybody that's within that blockchain circle, will be able to secure whatever transaction that is going to happen.
If Nigeria is introducing a digital currency to replace or to combat the weaknesses of the regular cryptocurrency, it should be of a similar characteristics, so that it can attract investment, so that people can put their money on it, and so that it can actually get to have the international recognition that it deserves.
After the Apex Bank has assessed and defined its goals for the project, which will be followed by the design. The CBN would educate and inform Nigerians about the rollout of the e-naira before finally implementing it across the country. Elizabeth Eson, Ogtv News.
Energy prices soared in the third quarter of the 2021 and are expected to remain elevated in 2022, adding to global inflationary pressures and potentially shifting economic growth to energy exporting countries from energy importing ones, the World Bank said. In its latest report tagged Commodity Market Outlook, forecast indicates that energy prices expected to average more than 80% higher in 2021 compared to last year, will remain at high levels in 2022, but will start to decline in the second half of the year as supply constraints ease. And that was business news. Back to Wally.
Thank you very much, Moji. Now to the foreign scene. Hundreds of school children have stormed the Democratic Republic of Congo's DRC Parliament building, demanding the government raise teachers' pay to end a strike that has stopped lessons for more than 2 weeks now. 16 people were killed in an explosion and fire at the gunpowder and chemical plants in Russia's western province on Friday. The disaster wiped out practically the entire shift of 17 workers who were on site at the time, according to a list of names posted. Precious Chukwu has details on the world today.
School children have stormed the Democratic Republic of Congo's DRC Parliament building, demanding the government raise teachers' pay to end the strike